Aaron Group Tutorials. Learning made fun.
Here we said it's supposed to have 395 as our HD, 0.978, 395,978 cos, let's see, cos 104, 55, 45. So I get you negative 102.014. So now let's go and find our coordinates. So remember this side we're moving from point P. From P we're gonna have point P and then our change, which will give us our Q. This side we're gonna have our H, our change, which would give us our what? Our Q. This is not a check, it's another side of the question. Don't do the opposite. We do the normal way, so it's going to be plus and plus, not plus and minus. So now looking at the coordinates of point P, we had 15,018,001 is to 1929 positive 443. The coordinates of H is 14509.432 is to 1845,849. So now we come and write our changes. From P, the Y is negative 125, 125,952. The X negative 185.637. That side the Y is positive 382.612. The X negative 102.014. So now we punch and see what we get. 15,018,001 plus negative 125,952. So here we're getting positive 049. So the other side it's 1929,443 plus negative 185,637. So we're getting positive 1743,806. So let's go to the 14509,432 plus 382,612. So we're getting 14,892,044 1845,849. So the other side plus negative 102,014. We're getting 1743.885. Okay, so from here to find the point Q, since in this case we can see that our points they are different. Let's see, it's 1845,849 minus 102,014, 1929,443, 1929,443 minus 185 is 370. Okay, so we're just gonna find averages of these points because they are very different. So our Q will be just this. For the Y, it's gonna be this 14,892,049 plus 14,892.0044 divided by 2. So we're just finally finding the average is 14892,049 plus 148 14892,044 over 2. So we're getting 14892,047 is 2. That side also it's 1743,806 plus 1743,835 over 2. Now it's 1743.821. So those are the coordinates of Q. So now we go and do what? We've already solved everything inside that triangle, inside the top triangle there. So now we're gonna find the bearing of the outside point with the inside point. So we need DQ. So we need to find our DQ now. So that's the bearing of the inside point, of the outside point to the inside point. Bearing DQ, not bearing QD. Excuse me. So now to find the bearing of at this point, DQ, how do we find it? We already have what? We already have our, let's see what we have. Oh, we have our 2 points there and our bearing. So to find DQ, we would have to do another joint calculation. But remember that the HD, we're not interested in that HD. So we just find our joint calculation of DQ, knowing that we are only interested in the bearing. But we'll find the HD so that we can be able to do our check. Remember they said show all your checks. So now that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna just join DQ, not QD, the outside point with the inside point. You see? So now let's see, let's try and join our DQ. So now joining our DQ, we're gonna have the coordinates of D that we know, and we also have the coordinates of Q that we know. So we're joining DQ, it's gonna be Q minus D. Then after that we find our coordinates, our HD and our forward bearing of DQ, which is gonna help us get our QD. So now let's go. So we first, what we did first, let's recap. We're interested in that top triangle. Remember, we drew our circle, we formed our circle quad, we used the bow tie method to label the angles. Now what are we doing? Now what we are doing, after doing the join and everything, we have solved the inside the triangle, that whole triangle at the top, we found everything. Now we are finding the join of the outside point with the Collins point. So let me write it here. So now what we are doing now, I don't know if it's step number 3 or step number 4, this one. As long as you're gonna remember them, but you don't need to cram them. Just look at the sketch, what you have after finding everything that you didn't have, then to guide you. The last step before you move to the next triangle is to find we haven't found everything, that's why we're doing this. The last step before, remember, we found the combined angle for these, but we didn't find the individual values of these numbers, and we said we wanted to find everything. So that's what we are doing, but we cannot do that without having join DQ. Don't use the mathematical approach, just use the survey method. You find your angles using your bearings. It's possible to find them without the bearings, but use the bearings. So now let's go there. So now we are joining the outside point with the Collins point, DQ. So now let's continue joining DQ, meaning it's gonna be Q minus your D, then it will give us our change. Then obviously you're gonna have your check, because the joint calculation is a check. So your check is gonna be your D, your change, then that's supposed to give you a Q. So I won't do this because I've already done it at the top in the previous step. So it's gonna be the opposite sign. You just find the coordinates here. So the coordinates of Q is the one that we found now. It's 14,892,047 is to 1743,821. The D we're given is 14 positive 14,400,000 is to 3674,127. So when we are doing the join 14892,047 14892,047 minus 14,400,000. So we're getting a positive 492,047. 1743,821 minus 3674,127. Here we're getting negative 1930. So guys, we need to find the HD as part of the check process. So you're just gonna find the HD here. I won't do that part. You're gonna also do your check of dy and your check of dx. Okay, let me just find the HD. Let's just find it. 492,047 squared plus 1930,306. Okay, it's 492,047 1930,306. Let's see. Okay, 1747. Let me see. So that's your HD, and then you're gonna use it for your checks the same way that I showed at the top. So it's sine HD cos. So that's our HD. Then for a quadrant angle, it's positive, negative, then positive, negative. Then this side, remember, it's your x, it's your y, so it's negative, positive. So in our case, if a positive and a negative, positive and negative is in the second quadrant. So we are here. That's our QA. So that's our dy, our dx. So since we're in the second quadrant, you know that, okay, our QA, still the same thing. Our QA is equals to tan inverse, but I said you ignore the signs. Tan inverse of 492,047 over positive 1930. Ignore the signs. They are just telling us where the quadrant is. So it's tan 492,047 over 1930,306. So you're getting your thing as 14, 18. So it's 1,8, meaning it's 2 when you round it up. So that's your Q. That's not your bearing. That's your QA, your quadrant. But it's in the second quadrant. So remember, this is your, what are we finding for? We're looking for DQ. This is your D, this is your Q. So from D to Q, you see that you have to have your forward bearing. To get the forward bearing, you have to say 180 minus this angle to get this bearing DQ. So bearing DQ is equals to 180 minus this quadrant in this case. So this is the angle that we're going to use for checking. You're not going to use QA in this case because it's not in the first quadrant. It's not equals to the bearing. So a huge DQ is equals to 180 minus this answer here. We're getting 165, 41, 58. So that's what we're getting. 165, 41, 68. So from here, I said always you should find the opposite. So the opposite reverse is QD, which is equal to what? This angle is less than 180, so we're gonna minus 180. We're gonna add 180 to this angle. So when you add 180, it's 345, 41, 58. But for checks, remember you're gonna use this one for checks that side when you're doing your check. So now from here, we can be able to find the angles, the Q3 and the Q4. So this is how I find them. Let me just take one part from that diagram. You look at Q3. Q3, which sides are enclosing Q3? It's that QP and QD. So I didn't say PQ. I start from the Q itself. So I said QP and QD. So the sides that are enclosing Q3. So Q3 will be equals to, so we are moving from the left to the right, from this side going that side. So it's gonna be QP minus QD, not QD minus QP. So Q3 is in between QP and QD, so it's gonna be QP minus QD. So it's gonna be bearing QP. Q3 is gonna be equal to bearing QP minus bearing QD. You get your answer. Q4, which sides are enclosing Q4? Remember, I'm moving to the right. So Q4 is QD and QH. So it's going to be QD minus QH to get this Q4. QD minus QH. So it's going to be bearing QD minus bearing QH. So now let's go and check. What is bearing QP? For sure we have it somewhere. Bearing QP somewhere. Yes, 340923. 340923. It's 340923 minus QD. 340923. QD, where's our QD? Where's QD? Oh, QD, we found it as 345 40. So it's 345 41 58. So what do we get today? So it's 334 09 23 minus 345 41 58. So we're getting a negative 311. So we don't work with negative angles. So you add 360 to a negative angle to get the positive angle. Plus 360 in this angle, which gives us 48, 27, 25. So I don't need to find the pattern of this one because it's an internal angle, it's not a bearing. That's Q3. This is my Q3 here. For Q4 it's QD. Our QD, we found it as 345. 345, so it's 345 41 58 minus QH. Our QH, we found it somewhere, maybe somewhere. Yeah, it's 284 55 45. 284 55 284 55 284 55 45. So when you add the amount, we're getting 345 41 58 minus 284 55 45. So we are getting 60, 46, 13. So when we add Q3 plus Q4, they're supposed to give us that angle that we got at first day when we found in the sum of these ones combined. So this is our check. We're doing our check now. So Q4 plus Q3 in this case, they're supposed to give us this angle, the one that we found at first here when we're doing the sum of angles of a triangle. This 109, 16, 38. 109, 16, 38. 109, 109, 16, 38. Now let's try and see if when we add them, what do they give us there. So when we're adding them, okay, let me just write them. Let me not write the answer first here, so that let's check if they are giving us that answer. So it's 60, 46, 13 plus 48, 27, 25. 60, 46, 13, 60, 46, 13 plus 48, 27, 25. So they are giving us 109, 13, 38, meaning we are correct, we're on the right path. This angle is equal to the one that we found at the top there when we were starting, which is which angle is equal to this angle, this one. So that's our check. So now from there, we're gonna go to the bottom triangle. We repeat everything that we just did now with the top triangle. Then that's when we can triangulate to point L and find the coordinates of L, because that's what we require to find. Is it L or what? Let me see. Or point A. We can triangulate to point A to find the coordinates of point A. So meaning we're gonna have to find the side of PA, and then again the side of HA. Then we can find the coordinates of A. But it's easy this time because we have everything here. So now that we have found this angle in this one, we can come and put them here in this bottom triangle. So in this bottom triangle here, now we know that 4, we found 4 as what? The individual angle of 4 of Q4. We found it as 60, 46, 13. 60, 46, 13. We come and put it in our sketch. 60, 46, 13. So it's 60, 46, 13. The 3, we found it as what? Excuse me, 60, 46, 13. The 3, we found it as 48, 27, 25. 48, 27, 25. So it's 48, 27, 25. So now let's do our magic there. We're gonna find each of the sides. Then after we triangulate, after triangulating, then we can be able to find that point A, the one that we're looking for. So now we're gonna do a join. Oh, we don't need a join here because we already have one side, that's PH. So we're just gonna use our sine rule to find PA and HA. Let me see. Yeah, we're gonna use our side to find PA. And let me see, PA, HA. Yeah, so we're just gonna find PA and HA. So remember, we are solving everything inside those two triangles. So now finding our PA and H and okay here. So this was in triangle. Let me just write it. This was in triangle. So you can also write it to make sure the structure in your question, in your answer, is PQH. Now we're in triangle. What? In triangle, the bottom one. I'll just put it random. The bottom one. It's PAH or yeah, PAH or AHP, PAH. Now we're dealing with that triangle. So in that triangle, we need to find all sides, remember. So we're just gonna have sine of this angle, but you need to find this angle. You can find it, obvious. We already have this angle and this one. So 180 minus the sum of these two, it's gonna give us this angle. You see. But we already had them, we're just gonna add them. We don't need to say 180 minus, because remember we said A1 and A2, we add them. 46 plus 24, yeah. You don't need to do that, it's a long process. So angle A, because we need angle A. So angle A is equal to 46, the 30 and the 22 plus 24, 16. 46, 30, 22 plus 24, 16, 0, 0. So you're getting your A as 70, 46, 22. This is the angle that you're going to use when you're doing our sine rule. So sine of this angle, sine A, let me just put it, let me just cut the steps. Sine of this 70 over the side opposite this 70, let's see. So the sine opposite is 70, so it's sine of this 70 over 515, 393 over 515, 393 is equals to sine any of those unknown sides. You can choose which one you start with. So I'll just start with this one, sine h3, which is 48, 27, 25. Sine h3, so sine h3, sine 48, 27, 25 over the side opposite this angle, this 48 in that sketch, which is PA. So over PA. So when you solve here, we're getting our PA as what? As cross multiply. So you'll write it down. I won't write it down. I'll just punch it in a calculator to save time. So it's 515.393 when you're doing cross multiplication. 515.393 sine 48, 27, 25 over sine 70, 46, 22. 48, 27. So what we're getting here, we're getting 408.538 meters. That's your PA. Then for, let's see, so we have found our PA. Wait, now we need to find out our HA. Same thing, sine this over this is equal to sine this over this. So using the sine rule again, as we use this one that we already had, sine 70, 46, 22 over 515.393 is equal to sine where's that angle here, is equal to sine 60, 46, 13, sine 60, 46, 13 over HA. So our HA after cross multiplying is going to be, let's see, 60 here, 46, 13. It's going to be 476.338. So from here, you have your sides. You want to find everything that is unknown there in that triangle. So since we have our sides now, we can triangulate. We have this side and this side. We can triangulate to point A, which is what we were interested in, the coordinates of A. So now to get to point A, focusing on the bottom triangle, So we're moving from point P to A, and also we're moving from point H to A. So the same way we did the top triangle, we did with the top triangle. Same thing, divide your page. So you're moving from P this side you're moving from H. So moving from P, we must first find our bearings first. So we need bearing what? PA. Also need bearing HA. So looking at the sketch here, let's come to our sketch. Remember, we are always moving like this. You cannot just say PA. Always have to start like this, from the south coming to A. So coming to A, we can see that from P, we're gonna move like this from P to A. So it's gonna be what? It's gonna be bearing PH up to here plus this internal angle. So we're using the bearings that we already know. So it's gonna be bearing PH up to this point plus this internal angle to get PA. Bearing PH. So it's gonna be bearing PH plus that angle of P4. Let's see. Plus this P4. So plus P4 plus P4 P4. So it's equals to, so PH, what is our PH? Let's look at our bearing PH. We found it somewhere. So PH, yeah, it's 260, 39, 45. 260, 39, 45. 260, 39, 45. So it's 260, 39, 45 plus P4. Let's confirm first. 260, 39, 45. Okay. Plus P4. P4, we found it here. It's 60, 46, 13. 60, 46, 13. 60, 46, 13. Let's come this side. We're gonna punch that one. Let's go to HA. Now coming to HA, looking at our sketch. From H to A, you're just gonna move like this. Then you've arrived. So it's just gonna be this. You've arrived. So you don't know bearing HA, that's what you're looking for. So you can just say bearing HP minus what? This internal angle. You're left with this part here. From here to there, minus this portion, you're left with this part. So it's bearing HP minus H3. Bearing HP minus H3. So it's bearing HP minus H3. Bearing HP minus H3 internal. So bearing HP, we have it somewhere. So our HP, let's see what is our HP. So from what we found, our HP was, let me see. Okay, our HP was 80, 39, 45. 80, 39, 45. 80, 39, 45 minus H3. Our H3, let's see what we found is our H3. So H3 was 48, 27, 25. 48, 27 is 35. Let me see. 48, 27, 25. 48, 27, 25. Let's confirm. 48, 27, 25. Okay. So now we can just punch this in the calculator. So we have 260, 39, 45 plus 60, 46, 13. So you're getting 321, 25, 58. That's your bearing PA. Coming this side, you have 80, 39, 45 minus 48, 27, 25. So you're getting 32, 12, 20. So that's what you're having now, this side. So from here, this is bearing HA. So from here, you can just do the normal calculation to get your dy and your dx. So remember, dy is equals to your HD sine your forward bearing. dy is equals to your HD sine your forward bearing. So this side, the HD, it's the PA. Remember, we're dealing with PA. So the HD is the PA, which is 48.538 sine, let's see, 48.538 sine the forward bearing from P to A, which is 321, 25, 58. So it's 48.538 sine 321, 25, 58. So you're getting negative 254.696. This side is going to be HD of HA, which is HA. It's 476.338.338 sine HA, which is 32, 12, 20. So it's sine 476.338. 476.338 sine 32, 12, 20. They're getting a 253.868. The dx, same thing, but now it's cos. So the dx, same thing. I won't put the cos, but in your answer, when you're answering in the test, put the HD cos. So it's 408,538. Same thing that I did at the top. Remember, I put cos. I said HD cos. And now it's the same thing here for dx. HD cos F bearing 48,538 cos this time 321, same angle, 25, 58. Getting a positive 319,427. So this side it's 476,338 cos 32, 12, 20, which is 403.049. Then now we can find the coordinates of A. So it's just gonna have your P this side, your change will give you A. This side we're gonna have your what? Your H, your change, then you get your A. Simple. So the coordinates of P were given as what? Positive 15, 018, 001, 1929.443. H you are given as 14509,432, 1845,849. So the change from P, the Y, it's negative 254.696, the X 319,427, the side 253.868, 403.049. Is it 403? Yeah. Obviously it's positive. It's positive. 15018,001 plus negative 254,696. So this side we're getting 14,763,305 is to 1929,443 plus 319,427. We're getting 2248,87. So this other side 14509,432 plus 253,868. 14,763,300. Then 1845,849 plus 403,049. So this side we're getting 2248,898. But these numbers are different, so you do what we said you should do when they're different. You find out the averages. So for A, whereas for X is 14, for Y is 14,763.305 plus that 14,763.300 over 2 is 2. So the X there 2248,870 plus 2248,898. Since they're different, you find their averages. So it's gonna be 14,763, 14,763, 14,763, 305 plus 14,763, 14,763, 300 over 2. So we're getting 14,763, 303. That side is 2248,870 plus 2248,898 over 2. It's 2248,884. Those are the coordinates. So then here you're left with one part, which is the check calculation. So this is the last part. You need to prove that from that sketch, let's see. You need to prove that the bearing of, we found the bearing of DQ, remember. So you need to prove that the bearing of DQ is equal to the bearing of DA. So now to find the bearing of DA, you need to do a joint calculation for DA. So now let's go and find the bearing for DA, which is the last part. Now that we have the coordinates of DA and DQ are in the same line, so the bearing must be the same. So the last part you join DA. So this is gonna be A minus your D, then you get your change. Then here you do the normal check that you know, the one that I showed you. So for your A, we have 14,763,303 is to 2248,884. For D, you were given as 14,400,000 is to 3674 is to 1 plus, then you get your change. So it's 14,763,303 minus 14,400,000. You're getting a positive 363,303. 2248,884 minus 3674. So here you're getting negative 1425,243. You're gonna do your check here. Obviously it's gonna be your D, your change, giving you your A, but in the opposite sign, the plus. Then you're gonna have to prove your dy and your dx. So now looking at this thing, okay, this side we're gonna have to find our HD, obvious, as part of the procedure. So you're gonna do your thing and put this and catch your HD. Then you come and use it for checks. Same way we've been doing along these joint calculations. Because what we're interested in is the bearing, but we don't neglect this. You're gonna find that you have to find it, and then after finding it, you come this side and use it for your checks. So now looking at the numbers that we have, remember it's positive, positive, negative, negative. Let me draw it again. Negative, negative. Then here, this is your x, this is your y. Then here what do we have? Positive y, negative, then negative. Same thing that we're doing here. If you check, same joint calculation, same sketch like this. So now you come here, you have a positive y and a negative x. Positive y, negative, meaning we are here, your sketch is in this quadrant. So your QA will be here. You'll be having your dy, you'll be having your dx. So meaning after finding your quadrant angle, to get the bearing, remember, it's A, it's dA, dA. To get the bearing, you'll have to say the whole 1/8 minus this angle to get this bearing. To get this one. So you have to say the whole 1/8 minus this angle to get the whole 180 minus this angle here to get this bearing. So our QA in this case is going to be equal to tan inverse. We ignore the signs like I said. The y 363,303 over 1425,243. So what are you getting here? 363,303 1425,243 1425,243. You're getting a bearing of, let's see, 14, 18. It's 1,78, meaning it's 2. You're not allowed to have decimals. That's a QA. But then to get the bearing, so bearing DA, I said since it's in the second, we're gonna say 180 minus this quadrant angle. So 180 minus the quadrant angle. So it's 180 minus this 14, 18, 02 minus 14, 18. So you're getting 165, 41, 58. This is your DA. It must be equal to your DQ because they're in the same line. Let's look at DQ. What did you get for DQ? Same number, you see. Therefore, we can conclude that was our check. So therefore, DQ is equal to DA. That was your check. You write it like this. Then you are done. You get your 35 marks or 40 marks if it's 40 marks.